Hey, welcome to the show. I'm the Crypto Kid, and in these videos we take a look at Bitcoin and everything that's going on in the world of cryptocurrency. So if you're new to the show, welcome, and if you're joining us again, welcome back. Let's jump right in and take a look to see what's going on with Bitcoin Cash this morning. Now right now you can see currently Bitcoin is sitting at 2400 USD on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain here, and we have hit some lows at around 23, about $100 lower this morning, but as you can see we've climbed up, reaching highs just below that 25 where we were sitting yesterday. So again, a little bit of volatility here as we move upward in the slow gradual trend over the last month. You can see what I mean if I step back and we look at that 30-day trend. Generally after that low we saw after those high numbers around 4,000, you can see that we have been climbing slowly but surely and a nice gradual upward movement, which is nothing to say negative about there. And if you take a look at Bitcoin Core, you can see that Bitcoin Core price has surpassed the 14,000 mark, but again struggling to make it past much higher than that as we hit those highs earlier with Bitcoin Core early in the month around 20,000. So it's anyone's guess whether or not we'll be able to reach those highs again, as there's so much going on in the market, as you know, a lot more practical choices. But Bitcoin Cash is currently down around 2.5%, as well as Ethereum, which has had some pretty substantial gains. But the real spotlight again here is on NEO today, as it continues to show some growth here, reaching another $20 just in the last 24 hours. You were sitting at around 150 yesterday, currently at around 170. So very impressive and continual gains here. So we'll have to monitor to see where that goes. But as we mentioned yesterday, that market cap is now at 11 billion. So it's anyone's guess if we can see potentially knocking out of Litecoin. Will NEO make it up into the top 5 in the next week or so? It's anyone's guess, but the signs are looking pretty good. Let's jump over to Bitcoin.com because there's a couple stories I want to talk about before we get into the main topic here, and that is going on over in South Korea. Now we've been talking a lot about this, specifically those closed accounts. Now they were talking about opening up those virtual currency accounts or virtual accounts. Now that was kind of set back until South Korea got their grip on the identification system, which basically entails anyone that has a bank account in South Korea to be upfront about their full name and other information so that South Korean government can have full transparency. So because of this, we saw earlier in the week that those virtual accounts would in fact be seized or closed, but I guess that's not the case anymore. There's been a bit of backlash within the users here and exchanges. So now they're coming out and they're saying, okay, if we can get these real name identification systems up and full and running, then okay, yes, then you can open up those virtual accounts. But you're seeing a lot of banks saying, no, we don't want to deal with this. There's too much to deal with. There's too much regulations happening here. We're just not going to go through with it. But what they found out is these real name identification systems are mandatory. So this cryptocurrency could have just kind of opened up Pandora's box, opening up a little bit of a slippery slope, so to speak, because what's happening now is you're seeing this becoming mandatory. All banks have to have this ID system in place once it's up and running. So anybody, and again, this is just something I want to mention, that even if you have those existing virtual accounts, once that real name system is in place and implemented, the government has announced yesterday on Sunday that anyone doing so will face a fine. So they're really making sure that anybody that uses cryptocurrency within South Korea is identified and it's totally transparent. And we've talked about this before. The real goal with the government here in terms of regulating is making sure that they know who these people are, what the amount they're sending is, where they're sending it to, and then alternatively everything about the receiver. So again, this is pretty scary stuff. It really takes away from the magic of what cryptocurrency is, which is a permissionless peer-to-peer transaction or electronic cash system, at least with Bitcoin. But again, you're going to be seeing this more and more all over the world. We've talked about it quite a bit, and that is the government's need to really get a grip on cryptocurrency, or at least have control of when the users use it. So again, we'll follow this because this is a big one with South Korea, but at least now we know that the banks do have access to open up those cryptocurrency accounts if they choose to. So we'll have to follow that. But the next article I wanted to mention, and the real story about today's video, is why Bitcoin Core is not Bitcoin and why Bitcoin is Bitcoin Cash. Now this article came out today, a little bit relevant, but basically it's saying that if your crypto doesn't have a mobile wallet, it's not really crypto. And what they mean by that, and this is a great article, came out today on Bitcoin.com, they're saying that if you can't use it, it's not Bitcoin. And what that means is that there's a lot of talk on Twitter and coming out from the community about why Bitcoin Cash, why not use anything else? Well, it's very simple for myself. First of all, Bitcoin Cash is Bitcoin. I would rather not use an altcoin. Bitcoin Cash is a fork from the original Bitcoin chain. And it is the truest to the original Bitcoin, because the only other alternative, if you're talking about that, is Bitcoin Core. And as you know, even though on their website that they will say that Bitcoin is an innovative payment network, a new kind of money that allows for fast peer-to-peer transactions with low processing fees. Well, that might be true about Bitcoin, and if it is, they're talking about Bitcoin Cash. Because as we know, the fact that Bitcoin Core has totally destroyed any opportunity to become a payment system. So that alone is very black and white to me. But if you want to talk about it being used as a payment system, you also have to be able to use it as a payment system. So for example, if I were to go downtown right now, pick up a couple sweaters or even just a small coffee, I have no idea how I can use Cardano or Stellar or IOTA or even Monero to do that. I mean, maybe I do, but the merchant who's selling the coffee or the sweaters is not going to have a clue. But what he will have is a wallet, probably one from right here on the website, a Bitcoin.com wallet. Now he can either use, or he or she may want to use their app on their iOS, Android, maybe they even have a desktop computer, but basically all they need is their cell phone. And majority of these other cryptocurrencies, as this article say, is all talk. So they'll come in and they'll say, why not do this, why not do that? In my opinion, they just can't. So until they do, all their talk of being able to support thousands of transactions a second and enable peer-to-peer exchanges is just that. It's just talk. And in my opinion, that's all it will continue to be, because Bitcoin.com offers you that solution right now. Pick up a wallet and you can use Bitcoin Cash anywhere in the world very easily. And I wanted to mention that even if you hop over to the Bitcoin white paper that was created by Satoshi Nakamoto, he spells it out the similar way. It's a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, and the word transaction and payment come up a lot in this paper here, but really we're talking about peer-to-peer electronic cash, simple casual payments being able to be sent and received anywhere in the world. And that's one part of the story here, and we all know that Bitcoin Cash is Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin Cash white paper. Anything you want to know about Bitcoin Cash, it's in this white paper. The only error I can see is this outdated and obsolete website right here, and that's why I recommend you to share the one on Bitcoin.com, bitcoin.com/bitcoin.pdf, and you can do so by checking the link in the description box below that I'll leave there as well. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and it is apparent that as we get further and further into the year, more and more of these electronic cash cryptocurrencies are going to come out. But really, in a nutshell, you have to think about it, how important are they going to be if you can't use them? So to me, I will continue to promote Bitcoin Cash as the real Bitcoin, because it can be used as Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. So again, I know you heard a lot from me, so I hope this video was enjoyed, and hopefully we will see you in the next one. So take care, and we'll see you later.